So legal resident, I'm married, I get my first official job. Well, I had taught before, but it felt like I got that job. I chose that job. I went out and searched it. At that moment, it felt like I could do things for myself. I knew that citizenship was my next step. Through this time, I graduated grad school. I found my passion in teaching. The career that was pushed on me and I thought that I didn't want. And it just felt like maybe God knew I was going to be really hard-headed to listen to his plan of what he wanted out of me. But I felt like my experience was something that I needed to share with others, that I knew how I felt when I came to this country at 11 years old as a lost soul. I wanted to give them hope because many times I didn't have it. And I wanted them to know that the fear that's there, that it's okay. Yes, there's fear, but you have somebody to trust and you have somebody to confide in and you have somebody who's been there, who understands. 3 years later, I finally realized my dream of becoming a real American citizen. So at that moment when I was saying the pledge, when we were singing the national anthem, I remember the pride, the moment that it just felt like I'm an American. Like I could loudly say it. I am here. This is me. This is my country. My family that we will build from now on, we will all belong here. As silly as that sounds. But that also, it wasn't just a pride of doing that, but that also meant that I could give that same feeling to my parents. And the very next day, we had their application filled out. They had been saving up money for probably that amount of time to turn in their application. So it wasn't just the pride of becoming an American citizen and doing things for myself. I wanted to be able to give back to all those people who helped me through this whole process. And I was able to do that for my parents. So we did. And, you know, a few months later, they received a little paper in the mail that's so insignificant to most, but they waited over 15 years in this country. 15 years of living in fear, of just hiding out, of not really being themselves, being who they are, their full potential. Unfortunately, my brother and my sister were already too old to be petitioned through me and be petitioned through my parents. So they had to find their own way, the same way that I did, and go through their struggles and lose opportunities and make sacrifices. And sometimes maybe they think that I didn't understand, but I understand the sacrifices that they had to make in order to be where they are now and the careers that they both have now. I struggled a lot through those 15 years of not belonging, of wanting to see, where should I be? Should I move back? Do I belong there? Do I belong here? I don't belong there. I don't belong here. And trying to find my way and questioning and feeling resentment towards my parents for bringing us here where I felt like I had no opportunities, or I had nothing. I had one road that was forced onto me, and it was always, this is what you have to do, and this is what you have to do, and this is the road you have to travel. I was focusing on all the doors that were closing, and I wasn't really looking at the light shining through that window that was peeking open for me to go through. And once I did, and once I opened that window and I realized that maybe that path that was forced onto me was really the path that I was meant to take. And through my story, I hope to help each one of my students who's coming in with fear, whether it's because they just moved to this country, to just move to a new school, or it's just fear of being in a new environment. Like, I hope to be that safety net for them, and just that hope that there is a future for all of us, and that you just have to look for that window, for that light to shine through and for you to follow through.
So why did you want to share your story today? I mean, this is deeply personal, and not people aren't always kind when they hear undocumented.
I want them to know that it's not always a personal choice to be here. It's not, I can't wait to go take people's jobs, and I can't wait to go take people's opportunities. It is the hope of wanting to do something better with our lives. But it's not easy. There's a lot more roadblocks. There's a lot more just hoops to jump through. It's not an easy process. It is living in fear, living without hope, finding, but I want them to see the heart of people.